Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Eidson. We're certainly glad to have you today. And we have with us Miss Natalie Turner. I almost called her Martin. That's her maiden name. But she's the owner of Hair It Is here in Dunlap, and we wanted to talk to her about some recent activities concerning our nation, about the COVID and small business and so forth. And so, Natalie, it's good to have you with us.
Well, thank you.
First of all, Natalie, like many small businesses like yours, and especially with the hair, because y'all had to shut down because y'all were non-essential, as they called it. How did that affect your business?
Well, our customers are really great. So we were off for 6 weeks, shut down, and they just waited, most of them. And, you know, we've been real busy since we've been back, so we're thankful for that. So our customers are really good, you know.
Well, I noticed a lot of people have been joking about since they've been quarantined and everything about their hair needing haircuts. I know that's been kind of a joke among people all across the nation, really. Well, so your customers have been just waited it out till y'all could open back up.
Yeah, most of them did. You know, some of them box dyed and cut it themselves. That's one of the first things that they explain to you. You know, I cut that. You know, but you got to, I guess.
Well, are you having to fix things that maybe they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I know that would probably happen a lot, you know, with people. Well, overall, with your business, I'm sure that put you down for a little while, you know, as far as financially having to close.
Yeah, it did. I never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. It's been odd, but I mean, I still find the thankfulness in it. My daughter's going off to college, so I got to spend 6 weeks with her extra, you know, so I tried to find the positive in the negative, you know, and it seems to be good, doing good though.
Well, that's great. That's good to hear, being the positive out of all that. And how about your, I know you have some girls that work with you.
Yes.
How did that affect them?
Well, they were fortunate too. They just waited it out, and they came back when we was to go to open, you know. They come back and we've done pretty good.
Well, good. I know a lot of people, you know, with some of the incentives, they've not come back to work.
I know.
And so all yours came back. And, well, and with your business in cutting hair, you develop more of a relationship with your customers than some businesses do.
Yes, definitely.
And
yeah, it is like a more of a friendly basis, you know. It ain't really like it is a job. It can be strenuous at times, but mostly it's not. I've been doing it for 25 years and still love it. So
25 years. Wow.
25 years in July.
Would you've ever dreamed you'd done?
No. Not that long anyway.
Yeah. Well, are your plans just to continue doing what you're doing? And
it is. I would like to eventually sell my building and build me a little one at my house and do it, and, you know, build it big enough where if Kathy, my longest co-worker, wants to come with me, she can too. I kind of learned that during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? That way I already have to pay bills at my house, and so then I had to pay them at the shop. So if I go home, I'll just have one set of bills instead of two.
Well, how about your customers? How have they been affected?
Yeah, a lot of them, until they got their unemployment started, was, you know, suffering a little bit. But I think now they've got back on board. Most all of them have went back to work. Now that I can remember, you know, I can't think of any of my customers that aren't back working yet.
Well, what about the companies that you order from, like your supplies and stuff? How did that affect them?
Well, like some of them, you just have to call it in and have it shipped to you because they wouldn't let you come in their businesses. And some would just, you know, call, hey, I'm fixing to pull up, come out here and get it.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. We have a couple of sales guys that come out to the salons. So
Well, so that a little different for them as well.
This whole year's been different.
It sure has. Well, I know a lot, speaking of the calling in and delivering and so forth, a lot of things have gone to the mail.
It has.
And online ordering and stuff. And that might be a good thing, I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the personal one-on-one, but I know with this virus, it stopped a lot of things like that. With the COVID, has that stopped any of your like walk-in customers you might have?
We still have several walk-ins, but we've not been able to do many because we've just been so busy since we've come back from being shut down. It's like you got to play catch up. Anytime you go on vacation, anything, you got to play catch up when you get back, which is great. But so it may have slowed down the walk-ins a little bit, but.
Well, how does it feel to be considered a non-essential?
Well, I have always said I think that even like home health people should hire a hairdresser or something to go around and do people's hair, because as a woman, if your hair don't look good, you don't feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we're essential. But
well, I know other places like even the nursing homes, for example, they have the hairdressers, and it's been kind of tough on them as well.
Because a lot of times we go do people up there, and of course we can't get in right now. So, but I believe there is a lady on staff there that's a nurse and a cosmetologist. So I think if the family needs somebody, they're letting her do it since she's already in there, and that's smart,
Yes, that's real smart. Well, how do you see, of course, maybe I know you're not a prognosticator, I guess, but how do you see this affecting the hair industry on down the road?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be over soon. So I haven't looked that far into it, but, so.
Well, I know there's a lot of people, do you, in your business, because this is one thing I haven't thought about, do y'all have to wear masks when you cut hair, or is it required, or is it just...
No one has ever told me I had to wear a mask, and so I'm pretty much against it. But if you want to wear a mask, I'm not going to judge you, but I will not have one on.
Well, I just wonder, because, some places, I guess that depends on the locations.
Yeah, and again, how many people you have. We have 2 to 3 employees, so we could spread it out real far. And I've took a lot of my chairs up out of my lobby, so they won't be sitting on top of each other. So it's a little different. If you had 10 or 12 stylists, of course you're going to have to take more precautions than what we do, though.
Right.
But we just bleach, clean as much as we can, and hope that if you're sick that you have enough respect not to come,
Right.
And if I'm sick, I'm gonna call you and say, hey, I can't come,
Well, I know, and that's hard to tell, speaking of being sick, because so many people may have some symptoms but don't realize it.
I know it.
And they may be actually sick, but that's kind of like the flu or any other thing. You may have it and not realize it,
Yes.
and you may pass it on before you realize you even have it.
I know it.
And with your location, of course, I've been in there, and y'all are pretty well spread out anyway with your booths, the way it's set up.
Yeah, we have the booth.
So y'all are social distancing, so to speak. Already, you were already doing that anyway, so it's not anything new for you. Well, and I'm sure it's cut down on your finances as far as being out for 6 weeks. That kind of hurt anybody.
It does, yes.
And so especially when you're depending on an income. So and then of course it all trickles down because you don't order supplies because you don't need the supplies.
And the water bill and the gas bill was very minimum that month, thankfully.
Yeah. Didn't have to wash as many hairs.
That's right. Didn't use as much water for sure.
But but the bills still kept coming
They
in, you
did.
know, and that's the thing. It's hurt a lot of people. Bills have continued to come in during this time. Well, we realize that it is getting better around here, and you know, nationwide. I think I noticed this morning. I think it said 170,000 as of today had passed away in the country, but they've tested well over 3 million or 5 million people in the country. So, you know, it's the rate is low as far as death rate compared to the number tested, but still, if you have one that's passed away, that's still
Sad.
sad. And well, what's been your reaction with your customers? Have they been even when they do come in, have they been a little hesitant? Is that what the conversation? when you
Maybe
come in?
some of the older ones, which, you know, need to be more reserved about getting out and stuff. But that's probably about it. You know, they'll call me and be like, can you put me in a slot where nobody else is going to be around, you know?
Yeah.
Or could you get me first thing so I can get in and get out? So I'll try to do what I can to help those that are, you know, more susceptible to get it and stuff.
Right, because that's just one way of working in the community.
It
you know,
is.
helping each other. And of course, I'm sure you'd advise anybody if they did have symptoms just not to show up,
Just don't come.
and they stay at home. That no one's going to see the hair, right?
That's right.
Well, now you also not only you do the styling, but do you still do the barber? You still
Yeah, we do. We do. Still do a lot of men's haircuts. So, yeah.
So just really anybody needs a haircut.
That's right.
And I realize that too. There's a lot of stylists in the Dunlap area, but they seem to all stay pretty busy.
Yes. Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them, and they all said that, of course, since we went back from the quarantine or whatever, everybody's staying really busy, you know.
Probably a lot of makeup
Yes.
work, you know.
It is.
Since the hair's gotten longer and things of that nature. And
Yeah.
well, you know, I guess in a beauty salon there's more of a I guess more closeness with the people that come in, and people know each other and they talk, and now that's kind of I guess that closeness is kind of pulled away a little bit.
Well, maybe just sitting further apart.
Yeah.
We still have a good conversation when everybody's in there, you know. We just might have to speak a little louder.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're fortunate to live in a small town, though. We really are.
Yes, we are. We really are. And do you have anything? What about? I know you did the men's and ladies. Do you do a lot of young people, like the teenage
And kids and little kids, yes.
And
So I think it's a challenge to do a infant or a 2 or 3 year old. I try to make them like me before I cut their hair, you know, play with them. So
yeah, I imagine that would be challenging.
yes, but I like it.
Well, you like I say, you've been in this business now 25 years. You see yourself continuing to do this?
Oh yeah.
And
I always used to say that I was going to work till I was 60 and sell my building and retire, but I don't know how that'll work. I mean, I hope to sell my business and my building and go home and do hair. So.
well, you got a few more years
Yeah.
before you get 60, so you got some time to think that
I
out
know.
and not worry about that, like some of us. With everything that's going on, and like say you say that you think it's going to get better, and you hope it's going to get better. With the area, have you seen? I know when I was in town during this lockdown and everything, there was fewer traffic. You know, the traffic wasn't as much, and nationwide it wasn't much. I think they said there was fewer auto accidents. And
Oh, I
everything.
bet.
So, do you see the business now picking up in town?
Yeah, well, we judge how busy town is by the post office since we're across the road. And so, yeah, during the pandemic, the post office was even slow. So, you know, and it's a joke between me and Kathy. We're like, is anybody at the post office? You know, if we're not busy or if we are, or we're busy. we just laugh about it. But usually that's what we judge how busy town is, by the post office.
And what about you're there at the shopping center? How about the other businesses there? Are they doing okay?
Well, the 2 restaurants in our plaza have still not opened up for. They're doing just carry out, from what I understand. The Chinese and the Japanese, they're both just doing carry out. So they were affected. I think the Chinese was closed for like 2 months.
Really?
Or something like that. And the daycare beside us had to close.
Right.
The adult daycare. But they're back open now. But they just had to do what was best for their clients.
Right.
But I think the rest of them are done pretty good, from what I gather.
Do you have any encouraging words for the community or some of your local neighbors there?
We just got to keep pushing until this is over. Hopefully next year will be a better year.
Well, I hope so. I've seen a lot of memes about 2020.
I have too.
And a lot of them are funny, but
yes.
This has been a different year.
It sure has.
More than I guess than anybody would ever have thought. Has this affected you? Of course, you being at home, you said you were with your daughter.
Well, and my son, but yeah, my daughter she left for college this past weekend, so I was thankful to get that time with her, we went to the lake, social distance at the lake a lot.
Well, I know your son and your husband, they fish a lot. Well, you do too. You go with them too.
I go. I may sunbathe, not fish.
Somebody has to drive the boat, right?
Well, I don't do that either.
Don't do that either. But,
I just relax.
But I guess if anything too, this has also been a time for everybody to spend more time at home and actually rediscover their own family members.
Oh yeah.
I guess
We planted a garden, and we ain't done that in a couple of years, and we just was busy.
Well, if you stay busy, it keeps your mind off.
Oh yes. And, we had fun, really, but it just didn't pay very good.
Well, as long as you had fun, you're still here.
That's right. That's right.
And with Mackenzie going away, of course, that'll be a little lonely spot for you, I guess.
Yeah, it's different.
And she went away on a softball scholarship. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was to Roan State. Okay. Well, that's not too far away.
No, about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So you can still make it up for some games.
Oh, definitely for the games.
Yeah. Well, Natalie, it's been a good day to have you with us, and a pleasure to have you with us.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And for everyone listening, you can check out BTC Fiber, our sponsor I failed to mention earlier, and great company. Check out their YouTube page, where you'll see our Valley Views on their YouTube page at BTC Fiber YouTube, and as well as Channel 18 during the rotation. So check that out if you will. And this is Glenn Eidson, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.